Hi guys, how are you? Welcome. So in this video, I want to talk about narcissism or we're gonna I've already energetically closed this chapter, and so now just in the physical, I want to share my story and just bring to light. I've healed a lot and from all the main shit, and so I just want to create more real friends, and as you share my story, and I've healed a lot, but I still get so emotional about this because I've been through so much, and I'm going to shut this door in my situation and make it very clear where I stand. And like I said, I went through this alone the best way I knew. There's no book to narcissism, and everybody's story is different. And again, people are very toxic individuals, and they're very nasty. Like I was saying, so yeah, I've evolved, I've healed up until this point, and all those deep, I spent a lot of 15 or a little over 15 years doing energetic work on myself, shadow work, and these last 3 years was like a cherry on top of the icing. And so I went through awakening, evolved, and went through all this. And in my situation, this person, you chose to come against me, right, as in the beginning, and and we're going to talk about this, and chose to work against me, chose to go outside this connection, and and with another feminine, and work against me with her, and whoever else was involved, and we're going to talk about how the smear campaign, you know what I mean? And anyways, and so but like I said, I'm an overcomer, and this was a very dark, because of all the witchcraft these people were doing on me, and and so we're gonna talk about that. And so, anyways, but I met and just I have a lot, I don't know. I'm just gonna let it all out. I've been holding a lot in, and I don't know, this process that I went through as a generational curse breaker, why I feel like I couldn't release a lot. I have some people in my life that are like amazing, and like my sisters, and they're divorced from a narcissist. So it is funny how God works, and I love her to death. And she's like, we're like this, and we talk about like everything with her, and but I just want to open up, and I have so much I've been through these last 15 years, and I just want to talk, and this is like my journal. I'm very open. I'm very, I've done so much shadow work on myself, and I don't mind, speaking about it. And and so I'm just looking for people to listen, and I've shoved down a lot of things, and I just want to find those like-minded believers, and we're gonna talk about and anybody and everybody. Me and Jesus love everybody, and you're gonna get that a lot in this video. And my relationship, I'm just gonna share my relationship, a lot of things I've been through, how I developed a relationship, and just who I am. And I'm gonna share my last, my journey up until this point, and certain things that are going on in my life. As I'm not gonna share because certain nosy people, but we're gonna talk about just a lot. And So thank you for those on the end. When I went through this, I was really emotional, very, again, I went through so much, and I tried like reaching out, going on here, like I said, dealing with a very toxic, nasty individual, okay? And I'm just gonna keep it real and share everything I've been through, you know what I mean? And so, and this person's, after all this, as I share, you guys, is trying to energetically attach himself again to me, and no, it's not, no. And so I want to speak and speak loud and speak clear. I had a lot of my own giants, and I had to heal those wounds. And when I came from around this person, I wasn't fully healed. Didn't go through awakening, and I wasn't evolved. So it's normally when God doesn't ever send these people in your life, okay? The other man downstairs does, or you're on your path and you're on journey and you're unhealed. So you come along them, and these people seek whom they could devour, or they, you know what I mean? They are people that, oh, I could like take advantage of her. I could take advantage of her, right? And they come in an emotional time, or when you're not healed, you're not awakened, or you look naive, or you know what I mean? Like, and that's, when I came around this individual, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't who I was now. Like I said, I went through a lot of healing and evolving, and not just these last 15 years, these last 3 years was like the cherry on top, And so anyways, so when I met this individual that I was assigned to, anyways, I, try to keep sure in my past community, I tried to share with this individual. I tried to open up. This is before I was really healed. When I was, when you heal and you evolve, for me, go through awakening, you're like this. Now you're going like this. Now you're not aligned with a narc anymore. You know what I mean? You're low vibration. This person didn't choose to heal, evolve, which in most cases, I was just talking to my friend about, they don't heal. They don't choose to heal. You know what I mean? Or they change the mask. They don't heal. They just, the mask change. Oh, I've done this. I've done that. Bullshit. Anyways, and so, but yeah, when I was around this individual, anyways, I tried to, open up. Nah, not like, just denial, rejection. There was a couple of words that were exchanged here and there. I barely remember. I try not to. I had like nothing, barely any good memories of this person on my end. And just the way it went. And looking back, it's I went through a lot of hardship, but I look back and I thank God, because in the end I dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? And like I said, I went through the emotions, I healed, I did everything, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't care about this person. I don't care, and then I don't care about this person. I don't care, you know what I mean? Like, and it's dynamic. I don't generally, I did, and we'll talk about that in the beginning. And that's what I wasted my time. I mean, you can never get back your time. And I did, this, anyways, in the beginning, I was just like really genuine with this person. You know what I mean? Like I was just, I wasn't sharpened. Okay, let's just say that. You go through this and you sharpen, and you go through awakening and you heal, and you just like the opposite of when I first came across this person, and that's the whole point. God just wants you to see your value and see your worth, and it's not your problem. And I've helped carry this person's burdens in this connection. And this person trauma dumped on me, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm a very strong woman, and I don't tolerate a lot of BS. And like I said, I had to go through a lot of healing in this, in my past. I don't think I allowed this person to walk over me. I just had things that I needed to heal. You know what I mean? Like, and in a situation, I didn't do nothing wrong, but give my love to the wrong person. And that's no longer, I evolved and healed, and that's no longer, you know what I mean? And so anyways, but in the beginning, this person betrayed to wear a mask, at the time, tried to betray, wanted to, what I embodied. And it wasn't, it was behind the mask, was an immature, childish individual. Okay. And so, but you don't know that, when you come across these people until you go through your awakening, until you go through all this stuff. And then you look back and you're like, wow, get what I'm saying? Like, it's just part of the lesson, part of the journey, and like I said, I went through all the healing and, studying. One thing about me is I love evolving. I love learning, you know what I mean? No matter what situation I go through, I love learning. And I always ask God, like, what's the lesson in this situation to teach me, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't happen again, And so, there's a couple times, I try to connect with this person, not really a lot, but there's a couple times I was around this person, okay, in my past. Man. But, and there's very little, a couple words here and there and nothing, I wasn't healed. So I didn't speak like, hey, blah, 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 or, you know what I mean? Like, and those are the things, you heal. Now it's the opposite. Oh, fuck, excuse my language. But like, I'm like very open, very like, just raw and real. And, now I'm just like, hey, and I just speak my mind. You know what I mean? Like, and which before, I don't know, I think I was that way, but I don't know. I think I needed to heal some things, you know what I mean? And so, but anyways, I tried to, talk about this connection and nothing, you know what I mean? Like a few times, you guys. And so, and this person, now I look back was, I honestly can't tell you that, like I said, it have secrets or wasn't truthful in any formal way with me, like with his, whatever was going on his side, so I had to play detective, denial, but I knew, you go ahead and you sort of know, you know what I mean? Like, hey, and so anyways, and this person refused to acknowledge this, connection or whatever. And, I didn't get really nothing out of this person. And eventually this person was in, I believe, in relationships in the past. When I was going back and forth, how you go in, mine was in the community, but which I walked away from 3 years ago. And, sort of in and out. And this time, this person, ended up getting involved with somebody else. That's when, I was just trying to speak and be open to this person about this connection, blah, blah, blah. And, I didn't get nothing, you know what I mean? And so this person ended up, right before I walked away from this community, there's a lot of gossip and slander in this past community, past church I was in. And we'll talk about that in another segment. But at the time, and again, praying for these. We'll talk about that religion, the Pharisee spirit, and just other stuff like that in another video. Anyway, so eventually this person went in with this person before I walked away in another connection, right? So that was the last straw for me, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, and there's like barely, yeah, a couple times, that, that I hung out this person, you know what I mean? Like, just not a lot of good experiences, okay? And anyways, or this person was mean, or you know what I mean, like just nasty, you know what I mean? Like anyways, and so anyway, so I go, and eventually he ends up going in this past community. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I walk away. That was it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's when I walked away from the community. Somebody said, in this church, walk away, And so I did that. And then again, I shared a couple messages with this person, or emails, and nothing. This is the silent treatment, okay? Nothing, you guys, like, and I mean, now you can see, like, this is what, how can you explain it? Like, just like, everywhere, like, anyways, and so this is when you're not fully awakened. You're not like, you're still like, what the heck is, you know what I mean? Like, going on. And so anyways, so this person, right? So I walk away. That was like my intuition again. Always. I'm very thankful because I listen to my intuition and I listen to my spiritual guidance, you guys, in my life, and I'm very, very, very guided. And I've never, this last 15 years, we'll talk about that another time, but I'm very thankful, and so I end up walking away. Something told me to walk away, right?